Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And today, one of my personal requests was to get you on. So today we've got Phil Hoban. So thank you for joining us. Been a bit of a
welcome, sir.
Mad rush on it to get you on here. So I always start it off with very simple. I always start off with is in any walk of life, it would be a disrespectful question, which you'll understand what I mean. But who are you?
I'm Phil Hoban. I run a group. People will probably know me through predator exposure. They run a group and go catching online pedophiles who try attacking our children and stuff like that.
Okay. So let's start from young. Let's go back in time. If you can still remember. So upbringing, family home, mum, dad, brothers, sisters.
Upbringing. I were like, I can say I had a really good childhood. You like to swear?
Yeah, a few minutes more.
I was a little fucker, you know what I mean? Now, he was like our Tuareg, what they called it. People might know what they might not know what a Tuareg is. But my family, they brought me up best they could. We were poor. We didn't have a lot to. We had to go pinching potatoes.
What area is this in, by the way?
Up Middleton.
Oh, Miggy.
Up Miggy. Yeah.
It would have been a hard life back then.
Listen,
I'm from Arrows and we used to avoid Miggy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Being of colour, shall I say?
We're being of colour.
Yeah.
But I never knew that. I never knew not about different races and stuff like that when I grew up there. But it's like to feed, we used to have to go out killing rabbits, and that's how we fed. We'd get sent out on farmer's field and pulling potatoes up because it were chips and it were taters, and that's how. And seriously, I know, and I forgot what his name was. Rishi Sunak said he had an hard life because he didn't have satellite TV or something. Yeah. And it's like, you what? And when I heard that, you didn't have fucking satellite TV. No. I used to have to go as a child, 7-year-old, go pull potatoes out of a field on a night time when sort of farmer didn't get you or shoot you or whatever. And that's how we used to have to get our food and carrots and stuff. And we had to pinch us food. Mum and dad, I love mum and dad. Pete Hoban, Sue Hoban, fucking legends. Big up to yous. Yeah.
Did the best.
And did best. My real dad's, he's called Stephen Chowdhury. And that's when I found out where my dad, I originate from Nevis. I don't know if you've heard of Nevis.
Yeah, my mum's from St Kitts. So St Kitts and Nevis.
St Kitts. Yeah, so that's where I originate from, yeah.
So just for the record, because we're going to touch on this when we get later on. So your real dad is black?
My real dad's black.
Right, okay.
And my brothers are black.
Yeah, well, so I remember we were talking, I played rugby with one of your younger brothers. And then he started coming to do some martial arts with you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's the youngest brother you've got.
Yeah. Carlton.
That's the one. Yeah,
I
played rugby with him.
Yeah.
So your upbringing is mum and dad.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters?
Brothers and sisters, I've got fucking hell.
No, I'm on about that was at the time living at home. So we're talking 70s, 80s, aren't we?
I've got 6 living at me. But altogether, I've got like 10 brothers and 4 sisters. Okay,
so with your home life, when you was at home with your mum, which would have been your stepdad back then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but he brought me.
Yeah. So he's your dad.
My real dad,
Pete
Hoban, yeah.
But did they have other kids? Was you all mixed race, or was you?
No, they were the white side.
Okay, so you were the only one of Jewish
heritage. I only one every time when I used to go to school, because I had afro.
Yeah.
I've got curly hair, and they're like, and I used to try comb my hair to make it straight because I was the only one who didn't have straight hair, so I was the odd one out. And they said, and everyone used to say, "Oh yeah, you're black." I said, "No, I'm not. My mum and dad's white." I didn't find out until I was like about 23 that I was mixed race. Yeah. So and it was like, no, and I used to, and I'm thinking, why is my fucking hair curly? And I used to try comb it out and just try be like the rest of the kids.
When I was growing up, we avoided Miggy. Like you didn't go as a person of colour. Yeah. So I'm just trying to go like, I can understand your point of view where you're going, try to keep me hair straight. Because you would have been the odd one out, and racism was it was at its peak back then.
It was shit. It was shit. Then racism, you know. But we did have on it black family had up there. I don't know if you've heard of them. A Lotties.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. A Lotties were that were only black family up there.
They were allowed up there.
They were allowed up there, but they were like, everybody like took them in as a family. So even though they say Miggy's a racist place, a Lotties were there, and they were first black family who were up there, and they were blacker than.
Yeah. Then well, like I said, I get that because originally I was born in Gipton. So when we're going back,
First, man, now you're saying you're talking about me again. You're going to
no. I'm just saying, like, no. But then I'm saying about 8, 9 years old, I then moved to Errol's, so quite multicultural. I went from. So I'm guessing then, is this kind of why you go? So you got so you leave. Do you do your GCSEs at school?
No, I'm too busy on motorbikes and stuff like that. Man.
It was them times.
Listen, I'm a deadhead. I got fuck all like it. Do you know? So then I went into MMA, which I did quite good at MMA.
Yes. So what was your record in it? Mixed martial arts. What was your record?
Martial arts. I think it was 10-1. Okay. I lost one fight.
Are you still training?
Professional. I just want to do one more fight this year, just for my little boy, and to say, listen,
for him to see.
He said, just for him to see it, because he's 8 now, and even though I'm 50 now, well, I'm 15 Halloween night, October, and he said, Dad, will you do one more? I can't be asked doing it, but just for him, for my boy, I said, right, I'll do one more. So we're still waiting. It's called Pete the Doorman. I don't know if you've seen him on YouTube.
No, I've not seen
him. The big guy's like 19.5 stone. I'm only 12.5 stone. But I said, listen, I'll fight you. I'm still waiting for his reply. Well, he agreed to fight me, but now I'm getting no reply back from him or, But it's like...
You can do your second call out here if you want to say, listen, reply back to me.
Listen, Pete the Doorman, I've put it out there to you. If you want to do it, I've put it on your toes, and you've not replied back, even though you said you'd fight me. Let's get it.
And this is in the Octagon. It's not a street fight.
So no. This is.
It's just one of them one-off fights, so your son can actually see.
Just
because I've been to a couple of your shows, which were back in there like 2014.
Have you been to one of my fights?
No, I never came to one of your fights, but I came to one of your shows. So I was
Miggy Mayhem.
Yes.
Yes.
Miggy
Mayhem.
You were at Social Club. Yeah. Was it upstairs? Is it upstairs or downstairs?
We did Miggy Social Club and we did Meanwood. Meanwood were a good one.
Yeah.
Meanwood
because you had your other brother on there, which I think is
Justin.
Justin, yeah, you had
Justin,
on
yeah,
there,
but it was shit show what he did because he beat the guy, then he went and kicked him, and it were like, and we don't listen. When a man's down, you beat him.
Yeah. End of story. Yeah,
you don't go kick the fucking man after. You know what I mean? But
no, we get. Yeah, I know. But do you know what it is though? What I will say is. A lot of adrenaline is pumping through your veins.
Yeah, that was his fight. So
with that first fight, yeah,
you're in there. So I understand what it did, but it was like we just don't tolerate it whatsoever. You know
no, I get it. So you get into MMA. What age are you when you get into MMA then?
About 20, 25. And do you know how it started? Because I was watching UFC. You've heard of UFC?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm watching UFC, and I was a bit of pisshead then. And my ex-bird, she said, I said, I could do that. She said, you won't be able to do that. No way would you be able to do that. And that's what pushed me into, then I started going to, have you heard of Deaton in Huddersfield?
Yeah.
I started going to Deaton, trained with Andy Williams, started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I got quite good at. And he said, listen, do you want to do it? I said, listen, put me in there. And I went into cage, and it just so happened I got quite good at it, and I beat all my opponents, and it's like, and I found it easy to like, not that I like to work people, but I just like to test and see if my skills.
Was it somewhere where you could channel your energy, like like
and
anger,
because,
like your anger stuff?
Yeah, like because as 18-year-old and shit, I was fucking knob, and do you know what? If I could turn back my life now and change it back and look at it, I was a shit cunt, horrible bastard. I'm so disgraced in myself how I turned my life out. I'm disgusted in myself, and I wish I could just turn everything back and start again and just have a clean sheet. But I can't, you know.
See, that's one of the questions that I often ask people as well, is if you could turn back, like, like living with regret. And again, I mean, a lot of people know my story. There's no qualms with me, like yourself, very open. And I think for me, I try to live my life without regret. And also, one of the things for me is, would I change things in my life? Because for me, the paths have always led me to my children. So if I did change certain, like you just said, if I could change everything.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
If you wouldn't have done that, you won't be weak.
We won't be here now. Your missus and kids wouldn't have just dropped you off to me now.
I know exactly what you're saying. And when I try to explain that to people, they're saying, well, I don't understand what you're saying. But I'm saying, if we wouldn't have kicked a door in, we probably wouldn't have give her one, and we won't have that kid, and we won't have this kid. You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
They don't understand when I try telling them that. But I understand exactly where you're coming from. I wish I could have my family, still my family, but I wish I wouldn't have been you wouldn't have wished that you have to go through all the heartache to then have the joy of having your children. Yeah.
Because that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
So I get it, but like for me, I always look at circumstances and I look at paths, and paths often lead us to where we want to be, and not necessarily where we deserve to be, but they do lead us to where we should be, or where we're meant. You know what I mean?
100%.
So we do MMA, and I'm guessing because obviously. People start hearing about you. I start hearing you growing up, and you go, "Oh, Phil, Miggy lad." And if I'm honest with you, all the years until I came to a show, so I'm talking 2000
we're going back from there.
2014, 2015. It's around that time, and then I start playing with your brother. That's the first time that I realised that you actually wasn't full white.
No, but I didn't realise I wasn't full white until I was like fucking 27. And you know, when I first got told and said, listen, I remember talking to my mum and my mum, because she's passed away now, my mum.
Okay.
And I once went in, and thank you, and we've gone. I said, Mum, I said, I've been speaking to someone today, because my mum kept it secret. Back when I was younger, if they'd have found out that I was mixed race, my granddad had made a bought me.
Yeah.
I'd have got aborted because 100%. It wasn't allowed, yeah. So I said to my mum, I remember she was sat there brushing her fucking hair, and she said, I said, Mum, get to have me today. She said, who? I said, Stephen Chowdhury. And she stopped brushing her hair, man. She fucking knew that I knew that I just found out who my fucking dad is, yeah. So she said, don't know who he is. I went, you what? She said, I don't know. I said, he's coming round. I'm bringing him round. He said, he knows you. I'm bringing him round for a cup of tea. You're not bringing no one to my house and stuff like that. So it was like, bit shit. But anyhow, so I got in touch with him. Oh no, Justin, he phoned me. He said, are you taking the piss, you? You telling me my dad's your fucking dad? So he said, I want to come to your house. I said, come to my house. He said, what's your address? I give him my address. He knocked on my door. Boom, boom, boom. Come to my door. He looked at me and went, no way, man. He went, fuck off. He said, let me phone my dad and tell him he's got another fucking son.
Because there's three of them together as well as a block into that.
Yeah. And then he realised that I was his brother. And then, so he phoned Steve, who's my dad, and he said, listen, he said, don't bring no one to my house or no. He said, I'll go meet him. So he come and done a DNA test. So went to McDonald's, and my wife Nikita, she said, what happens if he cheats it? I said, well, it ain't worth knowing then. I said, it don't fucking matter, does it? But anyhow, so then he phoned me back up. He said, listen, I'll meet you. We'll go to Argra's in town. Went there. I said, what's test come back as? He said, I think you need to go back and see your mum. And I filled up with tears. I'm thinking, no, I've met a man here. You're not even my fucking dad. I'm saying you're my dad. And he said, you need to go tell her. This is bearing in mind, first time I've ever seen the man, that I'm your father. And I was like, fucking hell, mate.
So how's that relationship with your mum go? My
mum's passed away now. No, my mum didn't want me to have a relationship with him for some reason. I don't know why.
So nothing of that never came out?
She knew that. No, before she passed away, she knew that I'd met him because I went to Wales with him. They took us camping. But when my mum was watching us go, because I live next door to my mum, and when she was watching us go, I could see the sadness in her face, like thinking, he's going with him. But I found all I ever wanted to do is find out who my fucking dad was.
See, mine's like the polar opposite to you. So, like with you, if we're looking of the era that we're growing up in, it was quite common to have white mothers, black dads.
Yeah,
it was the common thing. Yeah. See, mine was rare. So my mum was black and my dad was white.
Dad was white. Fuck it. Well, that's rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even
so
rarer.
back then, I mean, it happens a lot more now, but back then it was very rare. So when you're talking about racism, although I saw racism myself being from the areas that I was from, I actually saw more racism towards my mum from her own colour.
Because he's white.
Gone with a white man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you're looking at polar opposites, and then obviously you've gone all your life to your 27 to then finally meet your dad at 27-year-old. And again, I know your brothers. So like I say, for me, it's then finding out, oh, wait a minute. So because all the years of I'm seeing you, hearing about you, you then go, because we've got similar circles, haven't we? So,
yeah, same shit.
Yeah, so then when I'm going, all this time I just thought you were a white guy with a proper tan.
Proper tan, man. Look at my lips, man. But like I say, when we got done for that, and I'm fucking rubbing my lip, and they were saying, right,
well, I'll tell you what, we're going to come to that anyway. So,
we'll go to that.
So, anyway. So we go to fighting, and then obviously you've got to work, because obviously we all know that.
I work
fighting
full
don't
time.
pay the bills.
No, does it? It don't pay bills.
Don't pay bills.
I did that because I enjoyed it, and it would like just
you could get that.
I was an angry person, but someone said, why don't you channel that and get into a cage and have a fight? And I used to do my fight, I'd have black eyes or whatever, but it made me feel good. Not
it
to
teaches
hurt
you
someone.
Respect as well,
and it teaches you like not just respect, it's like discipline.
Yeah, discipline.
And before, I used to go out when I was young, and say in my 20s or whatever, someone say, here, who you're looking at, I'll just start fighting with them. But now I can actually go, do you know,
go
shut up, man.
Because you know what you can do.
I know what I can do. I don't need to prove not to you. I'm like, listen, I don't need to fight you. So now more, I'll say, go, I'll even, unless I get it, then I'm like, listen, back off. They can even say, you ugly bastard, whatever you fucking want.
Yeah.
And I can say, yeah, whatever. Because I know that I don't want to get into that situation because of what I will fucking do if I get into that situation.
What you're capable of doing.
What I can do.
So most people that are watching this, they're going to know you mainly because of predator exposure.
Predator exposure.
Yeah. So, how did that? I mean, of all the, so again, you've gone from your cage fighting.
No.
You've met your real dad. You're working full time. Where does predator exposure actually come? Where does that manifest? Because you founded it.
Yeah.
So where does that manifest from?
Predator exposure, there were no teams about. So now if you look, there's a lot of teams about now. There were no teams about when we started, apart from someone called Stinson Hunter. Yeah.
Okay.
And Stinson Hunter, if you're watching this, you're a bellend, mate. You're a straight bellend. He catches them, lets them go before police get there. Now, what's going to happen once he lets them go? They're going to destroy all the evidence. Exactly what you've just done. They destroyed all evidence. We were the first team to come up, and how it started, she was called, fucking hell, what's her name, man?
It don't matter about names.
I forgot her name.
Be a friend of yours.
But anyhow, friend of mine, yeah. So she's phoned me up, she said, listen, someone's messaging my daughter, Phil. I'm well known around my area. Can you find out who it is? So Broadway in Leeds, well, in Beeston.
Yeah.
So we're in there. So I said, listen, I'll go find out who it is. I've gone around a few pubs. They said, oh, yeah, is it so-and-so? And we just put it on Facebook just to show people in Beeston, this is a Gora white man, is fucking white man, and showing him, like, watch your kids around him. If you see him in Beeston, he's a wrong and he's trying to rape your fucking kids. So anyhow, we put that on. Next day, I had hundreds of messages. Nicola she's called. And next day I had hundreds of messages saying, can you help me? Can you help me find this person, or who's doing this, or who's talking to my kid? And that's how it started from there. And from now, we've gone to the biggest following in the fucking world. It's gone global.
It's global.
It's gone global.
Very quiet now, but again, we're going to touch on. I mean, so I'm going to laugh at certain parts because, funny enough, I've had plenty of discussions about predator exposure.
Predator exposure,
and there's very controversial comments that get made about it.
Of course, he is, and people. All I'll say for the people who disagree with it, all I'll say, and I'll just say it now: check the fucking hard drives. Yeah. Because end of the day, as you know, I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm just catching them, and people will say, "Well, you shouldn't be doing this to them." No, police can't catch them, but if I catch them, at least they're not going to touch your kids. They're going to be away from kids. Yeah. And people who disagree with what we're doing, I say, check the fucking hard drives, man.
I mean,
100 million%.
I think what it is, I think some people have watched it and go, well, actually, people will go, because I've read some comment where they go, should be talking to him like that. And my thought process back, hold on a minute, he's talking to children. And then I shouldn't laugh at this bit, but there's a couple of things where you do it and you go,
The non-talizer.
You make them blow into them.
Non-talizer.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll just go on to that. Right. My job is when I get them.
Why?
Because
it's not a breathalyzer.
No,
I mean, how do they fall for this,
non-talizer?
though? How do they
Because
fall?
they're fucking idiots. It's a non-talizer, and my job is because if this were a real child that they were talking to, you've humiliated that child. My job is now to humiliate you.
Yeah.
And that's all it's to do. So what people don't realise when I'm interviewing them, when I'm talking to them, I'm getting admissions out of them. So they don't realise that when I say, if you promise not to do it again, and they say, I promise not to do it again, now you've just admitted what you fucking did. So you can't lie. And we've
do you
got
know what it is?
conviction.
Wow. Do you know what?
So now if you listen to what I'm saying.
It's only just dawned on me what you, yeah. Wow.
I'm asking you.
Wow.
But I'm getting admissions out of you.
Yeah.
And you don't even know that I'm doing it.
Wow. Yeah. It just clicked on me.
So now do you know what I'm saying?
Wow. It's
and you
just,
don't, but in court, now I'm going to get a conviction on you because of what you've just fucking said.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even, listen, genuinely, that has just dawned on me now.
Yeah. So now you know. So now when you speak to them, and now you know what I'm doing. And when we go to court, that
because they've turned to the camera and said,
I promise not to do it again. So you've done it. You've done it.
Yeah.
There you go. Give me a high five on that, brother.
Wow.
All right.
I didn't even realise that
now
one.
You know.
Now I get it.
No, you
Although
know.
I don't get the non-talizer.
The non-talizer, that's just to take the piss out of them. That's just to fucking humiliate them. And the survivors, we call them survivors. We don't call them victims. We call them survivors because they've survived it. And they're watching there now and they're seeing that you're not this big monster. Now we're seeing you kill in a little ball and you're a little bitch.
So how does because obviously you were taken to court by two people, weren't you? Didn't two people?
Oh, two people. Yeah, two people took it to court. Got not guilty though.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen you got not guilty. But how? So obviously you have, because obviously the law's quite.
Can I just say though?
Yeah.
Two people didn't take us to court. West Yorkshire Police took us to court. Not to do with no two people. It were over two people. No one put statements in against us. It was West Yorkshire Police who took us to court. So they. Oh
wow.
Even though
you've been doing their work.
No one took us to court. It was West Yorkshire Police who brought predator exposure to court. And I'll just say as well, we all got not guilty. The followers will watch on this and I'll bang it on mine, and we all got not guilty, and the police were gutted. They took us to court. No one even put a statement in.
Doesn't even make sense that though, does it?
No. Well, do you know, Keir Starmer, I'll just say one thing: go fuck yourself, you prick. You're a knob. You sent me to jail for something that was wrong. He sent me to jail for something, and you said you give me 8 months in jail for rubbing my fucking bottom lip.
Wait a minute, we're coming to that stuff, Phil. You will come to it. I promise you, we'll come to it.
Winds me up, man. But you let paedophiles off, and you fucking give them a suspended sentence for fucking 2 weeks.
So let's go back. I get you. I know what you're saying.
You know where I'm on about.
100%. But what I will say is, there's got to be a thin line, because this bit where this citizen's arrest is quite a delicate situation.
Yeah, you have to be careful what you're doing,
because if they. Obviously, for your citizen's arrest, it has to be in a calm manner, but then you'll have the right to protect yourself. But then how does that work? Because there's thin line between...
If I believe that you're about to commit an offence, or you have committed offence, I have the right to Section 24A, which is a citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
So if I believe you've committed an indictable offence, I can citizen's arrest you. If I see you run off with someone...
But you can only hold them.
I can hold them, or I can use reasonable force. Now, reasonable force, that's where the fine line comes. Yeah, but if they start chucking fists and stuff, then we can get them, we can detain them, we can hold them on the floor, and nothing can be done to us. Which I've proved.
That would fit straight in your street, wouldn't it, with the MMA and jiu-jitsu?
Well, yeah. This is why I don't want to mess about with them, because I can take them to the floor, but I ain't done that, and we tried to keep it as calm as possible. And it's like I don't as much as I'd like to just fucking slap them. Obviously, man, they're attacking his kids. Of course, I'd like to slap them up. You know what I mean? But I don't. And if you ever watch any of my videos, I don't slap them up. I just give them verbal abuse. And it's like,
and like you said, you try to get things out of them so they're actually admitting to.
I do get things out of them. But in a good way. They don't even know that they're talking to me and they're giving me information. But all the shit, it might sound like shit that I'm talking to them, but I'm getting information and they're just giving it. And when it goes to court, you've just convicted yourself because you've told us everything.
Is there ever a risk of entrapment, though?
No, because as the public, we can't be done for entrapment. Now, if me and you were police officers, they can be done for entrapment because you're a police officer. I'm a member of the public. We cannot be done for entrapment, so that does not abide by us. whatsoever. And not only that, we put a profile out there. So we ain't like I'll come and we'll start talking to you. They start talking to us. They're entrapping themselves. So we never go. Someone can't say to me.
So you just put a profile up there and wait for somebody to message you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So someone can't just go to me, here, John over there, he's talking to so-and-so, and we'll start messaging him and try to get him.
So can I ask you a question? Because obviously you'll know, we keep hearing about the grooming gangs and X, Y, and Z and what we see on TV. In your opinion, so I'm going to say your professional opinion. Who are the most people that you've caught? Like, if we're going to go colour, or let's leave religion out of it. Yeah, we'll just go colour. What would you say is predominantly the people that you've personally, like, predator exposure that have caught?
White people.
White. Because obviously in the news we always hear about Asian grooming. I mean, there's grooming gangs all nations, 100%.
I'm just going on what I've caught, so I'm not going to lie and say, I could say, black, Pakistanis, whatever. No, I'm not going to lie. I'm saying the most people I've caught is white people.
Is white people.
Do you know what I mean?
English
white people.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I'll say that for a fact. That's the most I've, do you know? But I'll say in the last few years that we're catching, the last on the back end is people that have in hotels, and that we're catching.
Okay. Yeah.
But the most, I'm going on statistics. Is like
predator exposure statistics.
Yeah, is the most. If you went on our scale, the most is white British people that we've got.
So again, you've got one arrow where you're going predator exposure, doing something good for society, for the children, for our futures, and then we go on to the most recent Phil Hoban case, which was the 8-month sentence for aggravated
racial fucking. I don't even know what it was. Something like behaviour, something doing gestures, which were racism.
Although we know from the area that you're from, you're Miggy, but then you're around Beeston.
I'm in Beeston now. I live in Beeston. I live in middle of Beeston.
Yeah, you're in that state actually where club is, aren't you? Yeah.
I live in Beeston.
You're where it's predominantly Asian,
Pakistani, British men.
Yeah. And again, you're a person of colour yourself.
Mixed race.
All your brothers are mixed race.
All my brothers are mixed race. My kids are mixed race. And
so again, I think there's certain things, there's certain elements that people are not going to understand to the reason why you're actually there on that. It's not a march, is it? What?
It wasn't a march. So what had happened? I got a phone call saying, "Listen, are you coming to town? Let's go have a few drinks." I had a few drinks. When we got there, so you've got, even to this day, I don't know if the Palestine protesters or protesting but whatever. And I thought, fucking hell, quite a lot of people here. They said, no, they're not on our side. And it's like, what? So I thought everyone's together, but I didn't know that there's this side and then there's that side.
Yeah.
So we've gone down to the pub just outside Crown Court, gone down there, had a few bevies, gone back up, and it's like, we've gone up and saying, then they would say, and I'll tell you now, they were saying, you English bastard, we're going to behead you and rape your mums. So I've gone, and I think I've gone like that, blah, 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 like,
you cried.
I wasn't doing it like, you've got big lips. The Pakistanis don't have big lips. My dad's got fucking massive lips. I've got big lips. Yes, I've got, stop crying. Someone took a photo, and when this documentary comes out, now you're going to see the full video.
So I think what we'll do, let's talk about this first, and then we're going to go on to the documentary that's going to come out.
So anyhow, I rubbed my lip, and it was there, and there's even a piece where I said, and I go on a microphone, I said, listen, let's all be one. The prosecution at court said, to be fair, Your Honour, Mr. Hoban did try to calm the situation down and try to be all...
See, I didn't read that. I didn't see that.
You haven't seen this? No one's seen this, but this is going to come out and you're going to see this. Okay. And the prosecution said, to be fair, Your Honour, Mr. Hoban did say, let's calm down, let's all be one. And he tried to keep the peace. The judge said, I do not want this put in the public domain. This means he don't want the public to see this. What I was saying... Your licence is over now, isn't it? So my licence is over now. Yeah, it's done. I've got an extended licence, but I'm not on recall. For public places or something like that, wasn't it? You couldn't be in a crowded place or bars and stuff like that. We'll go to this. But the judge said, I don't want that to be put in public domain. Even though I was saying, let's sit down, let's all talk, let's all be one another. The judge who sentenced me when predator exposure went to court, I only got the same judge. And as soon as I walked in, it were like, nah, fucking way, man, I've fucked it here. Same judge when we got not guilty. I've got the same judge. He went, this is a terrible offence. This is really disgusting. And with you being mixed race, you should know better. I've got prison's all about rehabilitation. Yeah. So sending me to jail, I had a job, I had a good job, I had everything, I had a mortgage, my wife, my fucking kids and lot. Sending me to jail, you're not going to gain up from sending me to jail.
3 months as well.
No, you're going to gain fuck all. He sent me to jail to be a cunt. You know, it's like, my wife could have lost her job. She had to go on sick for 4 months. She's a paramedic, my wife. She had to go on sick for 4 months to look after my kids. But he could have made me lose my house, my kids lose the house, they do that. What I did was totally, I shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been there. But
I shouldn't have been there.
Do you think it was more of a, because of who you are in the public eye?
Yeah.
Because you have got, I mean, believe it or not, a lot of people, I mean, even so more now, you are quite a figure, public figure, for doing the right things, by the way.
Yeah, doing the right things.
Doing the right things. You're quite a public figure within Leeds, aren't you? Because, I mean, what's your followers like? I mean, your followers are mad, aren't they?
Fucking, they're fucking all over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, I think, do you think it might have been a fact of, look,
they made an example.
Yeah.
Saying, go fuck yourself.
Made an example of you, X, Y, and Z.
Do you know, any other time, you know, when all the riots were going off, don't forget, we didn't riot, we didn't throw any bottles, we hadn't done fuck all. I hadn't said, listen, black, whatever. I hadn't said, Pakistani or whatever. I've no words have come out of my mouth like that, no thing. And it were like, any other time they'd have gone, oh, we'll give you a fine. No, that were like, I'd gone in court, I said, listen, nah, this is terrible. Made it out like a fucking...
Yeah, because there was something like, was it a grade 1, grade A crime?
I don't know, it bullshit.
Yeah, it was something like that.
You put a paedophile in court and you'll go, we'll give you a 2 month suspended sentence. You just come to meet a fucking child and you give him 2 months suspended sentence. I do my fucking lip and you give me 8 months in jail.
Do you know what got me though? Because obviously people are going to look up about this case because that's what people do.
Of course I will.
But what got me was... and this is why when I'm listening to your story now, it makes me, I then go, well, actually, yeah. One, he wasn't planning to be there.
No.
He was having because when I look at everybody else in the photograph that they use, they're all masked up and you've got no mask.
I had no mask because I didn't want to hide. I wasn't doing no. I was just there, pissed up me, a few beers, and you see a photo of me going, and it looks like I'm shouting. But what I was saying, can I get a, oh yeah? And I was taking the piss, but how they've took the photo, it looks like I'm going, like I'm angry.
Like
but I was saying, can I get a, oh yeah? And if you do your mouth, and I swear to God, that's exactly, I was saying, can I get an oh yeah? But proper shouting, can I get an oh yeah? There were no, my mate Rashid, my barber, is fucking Mr. Hussein, which I call him Mr. Hussein. He cuts my hair. I live in middle of Beaton, far from racist. And how the government betrayed me and said, listen, I said, send me to prison, do whatever you want, but please don't call me a racist. Don't call me a fucking racist, man, because I'm far from. My best man, I've got photos, he's a Sikh, cutting me wedding cake because her dad, she don't speak to her dad, but he stepped in, he's got his turban on and cutting our wedding cake, you know, father's supposed to do it. Now a racist don't do that. A racist don't do that. A racist don't live in the middle of fucking Beeson. Do you know what I mean?
No.
And that's what hurt me more.
But again, I personally
calling me a racist.
But I know you, and I know you're not. And again, just for this now, where people have now, and you've actually said, look, at 27-year-old, I finally got to realise and found out that I had other brothers, and I'm half black. I'm mixed. I mean, when you look at it, technically speaking, although people look at you and look at me, we're actually the same colour. Just different tones. Yeah. But I'm a little bit darker, but we're actually the same.
I'll be darker than you, son. No, but if you look, even when I went to jail, they said, you can tell you're mixed race. Do you know what I mean? All my life, obviously I'm fucking mixed race. And that's what hurt me, is saying that I'm racist when I'm far from race. If I'm going to get prosecuted for something, prosecute me for something that I am. Don't try to say that. Don't prosecute me for something that I'm fucking not. It's like you getting prosecuted for shoplifting and you haven't done it. Yeah. If I'd done it, I'm not bothered. But I'm far from racist. It's all about man.
Because people that So you got to remember, there's people that don't know you and see you. And
they say I'm a racist.
They'll say you're racist, but then there's the people that do know you.
Who know me will say, "Shut up, you fucking, is he fucking racist?" Yeah, people who don't know me, they say, "Oh yeah, racist."
So talk to us about, because obviously you've spoke a little bit on this documentary that's about to come out. So you've got a documentary coming out.
Got a documentary what's going to come out, and now the full video is going to come out. And what the judge said, we do not want that put in the public domain. So when you're seeing photos of me going like that, now you're going to see me just saying, "Can I get it? Oh yeah," and I'm pissed up, taking piss. Not to do with racism, not to do with that.
So within this documentary, everybody will get to see the full story.
Everyone will get to see the full video of me saying,
and you even on the microphone saying, "Let's all be one."
Can we all sit down and can we all be one? It's either going to be subtitled where you can hear it, but the judge said, "I don't want that put in public domain," because you unlucky judge, it's getting put in public domain.
But you do know there's a part, and obviously I've got to say it.
Yeah.
There's the bit where they're saying you're singing that slogan.
Which slogan?
Allah, all that.
Yeah.
Because obviously they said that in there as well. Yeah, obviously you're going to get people that are going to go, "Well, did he?"
All right, right. So in the papers it said I said Alan. Who the fuck is Alan? Yeah, right. I did say that, and I'll put my hands up. I did say that, which I'll piss up. I didn't, because it's like I didn't see any. I didn't mean it in an offensive way. It was just everyone starts chanting something, so I'm pissed. Start shouting it. I didn't mean it in a fucking bad way. I could lie now and say, "No, I didn't say it." Yeah. I did say it. You know what I mean? But I didn't mean it in to hurt anybody. They were chanting shit to us, so it was like they're chanting stuff, and then these start chanting stuff. So, and I just went on with chant, but I didn't mean it in a bad way.
I mean, the key thing about it is all the way through you've been truthful, and even where it's the most bit where we get to this stage now, and you go, "You could have lied."
I could have lied.
No, do you know what it is? Yeah, I did say it.
I did. I put my hands up,
and you put your hands up.
I shouldn't have said it. But I didn't mean it in a bad intentional way. Where I didn't mean to disrespect anyone. Your
intention wasn't to offend.
It wasn't to offend. It was just to like they're such. So you get into it. I shouldn't have fucking said it, but But I didn't mean it in a like to offend them in any way. It's just like you get into a chat like football when you're at a football match, that's how I seen it. So I didn't see it in any bad way. I could have lied. I could have said, "No, did I fuck?" I stick with my story. What I said at the police station. I could have said I was saying Alan. Do you know what I mean? I ain't. I told you the fucking truth.
No, yeah.
But I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it in a to offend them in any way. It was just like it's like a football chant. That's all it was.
But in your documentary, is it going to show that?
In documentary, it'll show that.
Oh, right. So
I'll speak the truth. I won't lie about what I've done. There's no point in lying about one thing, and I don't need to lie because I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong that day.
Do you know what it is? It takes a real man to admit his faults.
Yeah, I know that was fault.
And put his hands up. And you know what, a lot of people are watching and go, "Do you know what? Respect to him.
I put my hands up." He didn't.
So we've gone through a life story a little bit, haven't we? But my thing is, what about now? Where are we now?
Where are we now?
Let's talk personal life and let's talk predator exposure.
Right, personal life is like it's obviously after
you're going down slides in little places that you're doing.
How you didn't get stuck. Listen, when you're at work. You know, if you see a slide, if you're at work, you go down that slide.
Yeah, well,
you've got to have a go.
Wow, you didn't get stuck.
No, fucking hell. I'm in back with Brock as well. But no, I do that. I go to work every day. The police, well, it's the police, not the courts. They put a ban on me where I can't be with 3 or more people causing alarm or distress.
Yeah.
Now, out of all, bearing in mind, I want it done for writing, but out of all the writers, no writers have had this put on them. This what I got.
5 years, wasn't it?
5 years.
Yeah.
Which, don't worry, that's getting sorted now. But they put a 5 years on ban on me. Now, out of people who's chucked bricks and been racist, not one of them, none of them have got this order what I got. They said, West Yorkshire Police put an order on me saying, they said to James is he an order on him? They said, no, just Philip Hoban. Yeah. Now, you know why they put that order on me? To stop me doing predator exposure. That's why, because that's on it to stop me going catching pedophiles. Bear in mind, the guy who outside of me, he's been done for riots. He's been done for going to protest.
Yeah, for public disorder. It said he'd been done for public
Yeah,
disorder.
yeah, listen, he's been done for it all before. I've never been done for it in my life, but I get an order put on me for 5 years, and that's because of predator exposure, because the government don't want me going out catching pedophiles.
So just so we're clear, so this 5-year order that's been placed on you is where you can't be with more than 2 or 3 people.
3 or more people.
In a public area
causing alarm or distress. Okay.
So you're saying, because obviously I'm not saying, you're saying that you believe, because you can't prove it, but you believe that's
I know.
So you believe that that's to stop you from going out and 100%. Being around your team, predator exposure, and catching more pedophiles.
Well, you've got a person who's outside of meat dock, he's been done for racism, he's been done for fucking writing, he's been done for a lot. Police don't want what to do with him. Judge said, is the one on Mr. Gettins? They said, no, just Mr. Hoban. This is West Yorkshire Police, by the way. So not to do with Judge. Judge hasn't done this himself. This is West Yorkshire Police who's putting against me to make sure I'm not with 3 or more people. West Yorkshire Police haven't got a clue what's going to fucking hit them soon, by the way. Do you know what I mean? We're coming back with a bang, and I will be back. I'll be back. Soon as my recall license is over, I'm on license. I got an extended license as well. Bearing in mind, I'm not a fucking criminal, but they've given me an extended license till December. Do you know, soon as that December license is over, yeah, I'm on a 5-year order where I can't be. But you know, then they have to take me to trial. Then, and when they say, right, yeah, Mr. Hoban's gonna come this, but he's caught a paedophile who come to meet a child. What are you going to do? Are you going to send him to jail? This man has come to meet a child, to rape a child, and now you're going to send Mr. Hoban to jail. Now, fun's going to begin, and you'll see it in papers soon after Christmas.
One of the things that that came into my mind with the predator exposure, and it only came to me because through work, to be fair, and I don't know if you do it, but it was one of the things because obviously you've got female members that pretend to be certain age. Decoys. Have you got males that do it as well?
Yeah, not a lot, but more females.
More female. So I'm just thinking, like, counselling wise, like, is the counselling in place for that, or is it something that going forward?
We've had people who said, "Listen, we'll counsel you know, because some of the shit that we read, I have to read as well. But the decoys, they do all the hard work. I get easy part. I just come, give you fucking some shit for a fucking hour or half an hour.
You must read some disturbing stuff.
No, some of the stuff, we don't read all the stuff out, and some of the pictures you see is like, I started off by myself, and I used to lay in bed. I couldn't even give out a last one, mate. I'm serious, that's how bad it was. And she'd be touching my leg and ready to go, and I was like, I can't, man, because of the images that just not the image, just the messages that if I showed you some of the messages and you'd be like that, you'd bite your fucking hand, mate, because and people say, oh, predator exposure, you're bullying him. Nah, they only see a little bit into what you're not getting the full.
You don't know what he said in all
you don't
his
know.
messages.
You don't know. Do you know what I mean?
And this dark web, because
it's fucking dark shit.
Because a lot of them are going through the dark web now.
Of course, yeah. You can't even imagine some of the shit. I bet some of the shit that you read on there, you think you never even thought of in your life. And then we have to read that and go like that, and people say, why is Phil talking? He's bullying them. Hold on, don't talk to fucking kids, and I won't be coming to meet you if you don't speak to kids. End of. That's the bottom line. And I do it as like I told prosecution before, it's a deterrent. Hopefully you won't do it again after you spoke to me. You're not going to speak to kids fucking again. Do not speak to kids. If you got girls, I've got girls. If someone, and people say, oh, you're bullying them. Listen, if they were talking to your fucking kid, you won't be just talking to them like I'm talking to you. You'd be cutting the throat.
Yeah, because with the greatest respect, I think
it's fucking hard.
It's
hard, mate.
I was going to say, for you and your team to sit, and regardless of what you say, you are reading through it. Not reading it out, but you are reading through it, because you've got to make sure there's little boxes you've got to tick in.
Yeah, of course it is. We have to stay within the guidelines. Because we know where we can go and where we can't go.
But then there's the guidelines where you've got to get your stuff together, and you go, right, we're going for them now.
Just want evidence. Yeah, you have to have that evidence. You have that evidence back.
So once you have that evidence, is it a bit heartbreaking when you know that this person, even though it's a decoy, you know that this person is responsible for other crimes, and then you give it to the police, and then there's no case, because obviously there's cases where they have no case to answer to, isn't there?
No. So are you on about like if we just pass it over to the police?
Yeah.
If you do that, the police don't do no. So we tried that once. So we got all the evidence together. We give him to it. 6 months later, he's still talking to us. And on it time, the police they'll act on it. 6 months later, he's still talking to. They should get him. It's
So
me and you're going to go
to your decoy 6 months after you gave information to the police.
After 6 months after, he's still talking, and we left that one with police and see how long it'll take. 6 months after, he's still talking. Decoy's got back to me and said, "Listen, he's still online. He's still talking. Right, let's go get him." Then the police will act. Once we put on live and once we do it, the police don't do nothing.
Yeah.
But say like me and you are going to go rob a bank. If someone said that, say like if we were sat in here now and someone give our location where we are now, police would be here straight away, aren't police? They'll come and get us straight away.
Yeah.
You'd say that about a child molester, he's going to go do this. They didn't do fuck all like it. And this is why exposure is the key, because the police don't do no anyhow. But if we expose you, it might be your next door neighbour. You might watch pedophile exposure. You might say, "That's my next door neighbour." You keep your fucking kids in now. You're not going to let them go in paddling pool because it's summer coming. Do you know? And it is all about exposure. And people say, "Well, you shouldn't expose them." Why shouldn't you expose them? Police, if your next door neighbour's a paedophile, police aren't going to come and knock on your door and say, "Do you know there's a non's next door?" They're not going to say that. But if you watch pedophile exposure, if he lives next door to you, I'm going to tell you there's a fucking non's next door. And people say, well, they might kill themselves or like that, or something like that.
Yeah, because
let them do themselves.
Yeah, because you do read stories where I think there's another organisation where they don't go to the police, they just put it out online and say this. And I think there's been quite a few vigilante crimes because people have called you vigilantes.
Yeah. And I hate the word being called vigilante, because vigilante would normally go out balaclavas on baseball bats and just fucking lever him.
Like the Purge.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could. And I tell you now, it would be nice if we could do that.
And to be fair, you wouldn't be the only people doing it, would you?
No, would we? Fuck, everyone would do it, wouldn't we? Because we've all got kids, and we'd all protect our kids. But it's like it would be really nice. But unfortunately, we have to stick with the laws and get them arrested. And we went to court before, and she said, well, prosecution said, well, to be fair, Mr. Hoban, he said, you put their faces all over internet, and he said, he hasn't been found guilty yet. Is in it? Don't you believe in innocence till proven guilty? I said, hold on. I said, you brought me to court. I said, doesn't that work both ways? I said, you put my address in every newspaper. Well, I'm at court now. I said, you put me all over ITV News. I said, you give me address out. I said, you give me name out. I said, I innocent till proven guilty. He went and sat down. Am I right? He's saying innocent till proven guilty, but you've just put my name and address out there, my fucking proper address, where
your wife and kids
where my wife and kids are. We don't even do that nonsense. We don't give their address out. We give their name, but we don't say where they live. You've just posted my name and address where my wife and kids are. I've done fuck all wrong, and you're telling me, don't you believe in innocent till proven guilty? I'm on trial here, but I'm not being found guilty yet, and you still.
So that being said, are you? I mean, in your opinion. What about do you think the justice system is
fucked?
Well, yeah,
fucked. It's shit. That's all I can say. It's shit. For you know, for what I did, and if there's any people out there, Asian people or all that, if I did offend them, I am truly sorry for offending them, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I didn't mean to offend anyone, and I truly apologise for my actions, but it wasn't meant in. For what I did was not meant to anybody.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to cause alarm and distress.
No. It wasn't meant in that way. But how the government's made it because of pedophile exposure, they've made it out bad. Don't forget, they've only seen like snippets of me going, and it looks like I'm shouting. But when to see the video of this, what comes out, you'll see I'm actually saying, "Can I get a oh fuck yeah?" I was taking the piss, just saying, "Oh yeah," pissed up. And people
even
say,
the bit that you go on the microphone, so can't we all be one?
Yeah, and that part, when I say, can we all sit down? Can we all be one? Let's all be one. Now, this is going to come out, which the judge didn't show that, but now they're going to see the full video rather than people just taking snippets off and saying.
Because what I would say is because obviously you can go online now, because when you're sentenced, you get the cameras from the courtroom and what the judge says. And
You don't see my side though.
Yeah, no, you don't see your side. But what I'm saying is people, after this video goes out, people are going to look and search and go, oh yeah, but he did do this, and yeah, he did do. But you're saying wait for the documentary.
Wait for the documentary to come out, and they're only going to see a bit of me. You see a video of me going like that, looks like I'm shouting, which once they see, then they'll see that. Yeah. Then there's another one saying where I said, well, we said it was Alan.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I've hold my hands up to that, and I totally apologise for that. And if I disrespected it, I didn't mean to fuck it. Half my mates are British Pakistanis, so I didn't mean to disrespect them whatsoever, and it was not to do with that. It's like I said, it was like a football match. They were chanting, listen, you white bastard, we're going to behead you and rape your fucking mams. They started chanting that, I chanted it back, and it was like, but it was not like...
They're stupid.
Just fucking an idiot, you know. And people say, oh yeah, well, you always speak truth when you're drunk. No, fuck off, man. I've told some right ugly birds when I'm drunk, oh, you're gorgeous, I love you. Full of shit.
10 to 2.
No, do you know what I mean? And when you go like that, yeah, you're gorgeous. So then people who aren't drunk before will say, well, you speak truth when you're drunk. Like I said, I've said, oh, you're fucking gorgeous, I'm just wanting to get my end away. She's ugly as fuck, mate. But I've been pissed. So do they count it then where I'm not speaking truth, I'm fucking lying, I'm just talking shit just to...
So where's life now then? Where is life for you?
Life now is just like...
Expose, you were saying that's going to come back around December time. But what about you? What about your personal life? Can I just say you've got a lovely family?
Thank you, sir. Yeah. My life now is just like try to bring my son up fucking and my daughters best I can, and to get this stigma away from me is like, I don't want them people, even if one person says your dad's a racist, which I'm not, I don't want that, because my family is a lovely family.
That's what hurts me most. Yeah, we're going to say the one thing that I've sensed during this interview is the main thing for you is being labelled a racist.
Labelled a racist. Yeah. That's the main thing is, and for my kids, for me, and no one says no to them, but I just don't want people to look and say, that's your dad. That's your dad is a racist. Most people, when we go out in Leeds, everyone, well, all the people, they all praise me. Yeah, they know I'm not fucking racist. Black, white, Chinese, fucking whatever. They're all on my side, and they know I'm not racist. Someone who speaks to me can say, he's not a fucking racist, man. I went to a PlayStation, they went, and I didn't know what far right was. I didn't know what far left was. So I was sat there, and that's the God's honest truth. So I've gone to PlayStation, and they said, we believe you're the leader of the far right. I went like that to duty solicitor. I went, what's far right mean? So he went, because I didn't know. He said, oh, you're a racist cunt. I went, whoa, time out, whoa, stop here. They were trying to make out that I was one of the fucking leaders. I didn't know what far. Now I know what it is, because now I've looked into it.
You've had to look into it now.
I've had to look into it
when you get labelled.
Yeah, of course I have. And so I've looked into it, and it was like, nah, don't call me a fucking racist, man. I've grown up in Beaton. Rashid Chafi, my best fucking pal, Pakistani. I fought Gora with white men with him, and who tried to attack him before. I remember on a bus. I think we were in Pontefract or somewhere. I can't remember where we went. Loads of Gora tried to attacking him. I were the other fucking jumped in with him and fighted them. We beat him as well. Do you know what I mean? But he was my best mate at my wedding. He did a dance with me at my wedding, Pakistani.
And again, if people search you to be able to see it online and see all these things.
Yeah, Fazana, she cooks me food. When my wife, when she's working, I'm hungry, I can't be arsed. Fazana will say, listen, I've made you some curry here. Come up, I go up to Fazana Shafi, go up to her house, curry.
So, yeah, well respected within the area. And I think, obviously, everybody be able to see it. I can see it now. That's what bothers you the most.
It does,
so,
it hurts me.
That being said,
it really hurts me.
Yeah. But that being said, what I want to know now is what's going on within your life, where you're saying, just bring up your kids, your boy. So anything planned for the future? Is there anything on the horizon?
No, just like get this documentary out and show people the full video now, the truth now. And just to say, so anyone who doubted me, just to say, fuck you should never have doubted me, you should never thought I was racist.
I don't think your true friends will doubt you, though.
No, I've still got all my friends, but for all the people who don't know me to say, do you know what? You're actually right. He ain't a fucking racist, and just show how corrupt this government is, and to show how they turned it and switched it and like pulled things out.
You think it's a protection because of what you do with predator exposure?
I'm getting too close to one of them fuckers. That's what I think. I'm getting too close to them. Do you know what I mean? And predator exposure, if anybody looks predator exposure, it's a massive follow. It goes global. It goes. If I did a live video now, we'd have fucking thousands of followers just looking at us, watching us. So I could, you know, and I think it would like when police got me and they said, oh, well, it's safe to say that everybody looks up to you, Phil. You've got an influence on people. I said, what do you mean? Because I don't see it as that. But people looking from outside, they see predator exposure. Phil Hoban, he's the main man. And this is what police were saying. Well, you've got an influence on people. I said, and people will follow you. I said, what are you on about? I said,
I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to link that with this match, with the far right.
I'm like, and it
was not two separate entities.
Totally. This wasn't planned. This was just like, on day, oh, do you want to come to town? Yeah, we'll go have some beers, get over there. Someone's on the mic. Oh, get a go at mic, mate. Can I get a, oh, fuck yeah. Oh, they're all saying, white bastards, whatever, we're going to beat you. Oh, shut up, cry. And that were it. And basically, that were fucking not to do with let's go. You don't see me at marches. I've never been to marches. Tommy Robinson or doing this or I'm not into politics. I'm not into that.
Stay away from it.
No, I stay away from all that.
Oh, listen, I just want to thank you for coming. I mean, usually at this bit, we usually give the opportunity for somebody to ask me a question. And again, very similar to yourself, very open. So you can, if you don't have a question, then that's fine. But if you do, then by all means, you can ask any question you want.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
Do you think I'm racist?
See, this is difficult for me. No, listen, but I'll explain.
Let
me explain.
It should be an easy question.
No, because I know you personally.
No.
Because I know you. So I know you're not a racist.
Yeah.
So for the camera, people are going to go, yeah, but he's going to say that because he knows him.
All right, we'll just...
But, however, based on what you've said to me, then no. If I didn't know you, then I would say, hell no, not a racist.
So you still, if you didn't know me, you still say I'm not a racist? I'd still
know you're not a racist.
So I've got no on both?
Yeah.
I don't mean my
No, honestly, I don't think you was racist. I think,
I'm a fuck, man.
I think with one of the things I think, again, you'd had a couple of drinks.
I shouldn't have said what I said.
You should have said, no, listen.
But it was not in a, it still wasn't racist.
Yeah, you've said, look, at the same time, you said what you said. Your intentions behind what you said wasn't to cause alarm and distress.
No, not at all.
It was just two things going back and forth.
Yeah.
But however, what I will say is, I don't agree with what you said.
No, I shouldn't have said it. I don't agree. I won't do it again.
I personally don't believe that you're racist.
I didn't mean any intention in what I fucking did, that kid. And like I say, I live in fucking Miller Beeson. They still all love me, and they still feed me and shit like that. Listen, say no, I'm not racist.
Your wife and kids still love you. Your family still love you. You're still respected within your area for the work that you do.
Yeah, of course.
And not only that, your wider community of the work that you do through predator exposure, they respect you as well.
It's saving their kids. Don't matter if they're black, they're white.
Well, you've got to look at it this way. It's a conversation that can be had, because when you go on and someone watches your thing, then that parent or carer, mum, dad, whatever it is, they can then sit down with their kids and say, listen, if you're speaking to someone online, blah, 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 blah. So really, you're educating at the same time.
Trying to. Some don't take it, but it's like we're here. If there's a child predator out there, don't matter if he tries gets an Asian kid, I'm still gonna go catch that predator, stop him from getting that Asian kid. So there's no colour involved. There's no colour involved whatsoever. Don't matter what fucking colour they are. If you're a predator and you're gonna try and get a kid, don't matter what colour that kid is,
for you.
I'm gonna come and get you. I'm gonna expose you, fucking ass. So and you will belong to non-salizer.
So
do you know what I mean?
So we are expecting big things.
Big things coming to December. Just get me holiday out where, come back. And then I'm back, and then predator exposure is back, and the non-salizer will be on charge, and they're going to blow into it. Then if I do get arrested, which I know I will get arrested, because they will try something, but I'm willing to then go to trial.
You're willing for that risk?
I had to go guilty this time because I said to my wife, I want £8,500 by time, 9:30 in the morning. I didn't have £8,500. I had no one to represent me. So it was like, I've got a Crown Court, and even judge said, he didn't even say, where's the representation? It was like, I couldn't afford a barrister. So it was like, someone said, one walk past, he said, listen, just go guilty. you won't get as long. If you go not guilty, you're looking at 4.5 years. It was like easy way out. Listen, I put my hands up, guilty, 8 months, which was shit. I had no choice. I had no one there was no one even to tell me what were happening in court.
Yeah, that's the justice system.
Yeah, but at least no one even come up to me and said, this is what's going to happen today. This is what's going to happen. It was like put in front of a judge who we just got not guilty on. I had no one to say.
See, I would have thought. So this is again. So I would have thought, and this is the last thing I say. I would have thought that being with predator exposure, you would have had like a legal representative who does it for free, who can kind of guide you, stuff like that.
No one does not for free, kid. No one does not. £8,500 they wanted. Do you know what I mean? And it were like, so what do? I've got a Crown Court there. Go guilty. You get Jordan, he got 8 months, or go not guilty. You're looking at 4.5 years. We're like, there's no one even telling me what do you do.
Take your 8 months.
No, even to come. It was like, take the 8 months, go not guilty. I'm gonna go to court anyhow. I still can't afford a barrister. So what's the fucking point? So, and if you look at half of these who's gone to court, there were a woman, she worked in a care home, she filmed the riots, what were going on in, I can't remember where it was, because she filmed it and posted it on her thingy. She got fucking 32 months in jail. And she's a care worker, all she did is film it and posted it on, and she got 32 months for it.
Wow.
And because everybody would have got, why can't they fast track pedophiles as fast as what the fast track me? Within 2 weeks, I was locked up, sentenced, and in jail. So why can't they do that with pedophiles? Pedophilia more dangerous than me being out on that street going like that, rubbing my fucking lip. But you've got people who try to rape kids and they'll be on bail for 3 fucking years. Now why can't they fast track them and send them away? There were paedophile, I think a week after I got caught, my team sent me in, they said he got caught, he raped a 12-year-old girl. You know why the judge didn't send him to prison? Because jails were too full. But I'm in there rubbing my lip. Jails are too full. The judge said to him, you're a very lucky man, you're not going to prison today because the jails are too full. So I'm going to give you a suspended sentence.
Wow.
He raped a 12-year-old fucking girl, mate.
We could go forever. Phil, listen,
of course we could.
Appreciate your time.